Hi, it's Mike, and this is a short story about a user, which could be me and, okay, is me, and their relationship between their mobile, possibly keyboards, and their laptops. So, getting cracking, what we've got here a little while ago with me personally is I have an Android phone. I also have a Bluetooth keyboard, and I take it around with me and I type stuff on it. When I'm at home in the home studio, I have a 15.6-inch laptop with an extended 21.5-inch monitor. I thought, with the season of Christmas just over, what if I could get something like an IdeaPad, maybe this Cloudbook thing, maybe a Chromebook, and I really knew very, very little about the Windows 10s. So what actually happened was that this is what I was thinking about, on the fence in the middle here, thinking, do I buy possibly a Chromebook, one of these bendy back Chromebooks with a touch screen? And I was tempted by one of these Lenovo IdeaPad things, which I knew very, very little about. The big deal in the centre here is I wanted something lightweight, maybe an 11-inch screen, 4 gig, 32 gig on the hard drive, which I was really like, that is so small. So what did I actually do next? What I did is get an incredible deal, for me, which was on the 11th of January, where I purchased a Lenovo IdeaPad 120S 11.6 Intel Celeron processor. That's what I did, but quite honestly, I was really, really unsure, and I'll tell you why, and that's why I'm making this video. Right now, if you want to have a look at it, my hardware looks exactly like this, which comes for me personally wrapped up in a micro fleece blanket with a little black wrap around the outside. This is me unboxing it, ready to go, and I'll type some stuff, look at some stuff, and then you can see that I'm wrapping it back up again, and that's how it lives pretty much in my bag or somewhere around the place. This is a custom case that I actually made, and then I've finished with it, and then I'll just show you how I do it. This is a little insight into the life that I lead, and there we are. So what happened was this. If we go down to the way we work, and in particular the way I work, on the right hand side we've got where I have sat probably for the last 10 years or so, and that is with Google stuff, the Google Play Store, Chrome, the internet browser, and Google Drive. I'm really, really happy with that, and that's what I've always done. That's why the scales are balanced on this way. On the left hand side we have, of course, Microsoft Windows, which I use. I never ever touch the Microsoft Store, Microsoft Edge or OneDrive. They are really, really new to me, and that's why I'm making this video, because I found it pretty difficult. And that means that I was looking at the research between Windows 10 Home versus Windows 10 Pro in S mode, and this is what I really, really didn't know. And you'll notice, and I'll do the white bits in a second, my research for me was inadequate and incomplete, so I found it really difficult to Google and to understand. And what I actually did is I took a risk, small risk, but nevertheless a risk. And what I'm getting at is really simple, and that is that Windows S mode is like Windows, the same as Windows, but you cannot put any software on that machine unless it comes from the Windows Store or the Microsoft Store. It's just Microsoft Edge. Now the thing is, what I kept reading and reading was switching out of S mode is one way. If you make the switch out on your machine, you can't get back in again. That's why I was really unsure. I took, I'm going to say, a punt and a risk, a small risk, and I did it. I wasn't sure. By the way, if you actually get to the level where you have Windows S mode and you try and download some software that actually comes to your hard drive, not a problem. Then try and open it up again, and what you actually get is this: for security reasons you cannot do it, and tough. Really, that's the message you get. So what I was trying to get to is, can the Windows S mode IdeaPad that I purchased do what Windows 10 Home does? Short answer is yes, it can. It took me a couple of seconds literally to say, well, look, on my 15.6-inch Windows regular machine, I had Audacity, open source of course, for audio editing. Literally 30 seconds later I found this thing called WavePad, and it was pretty much working. There's loads of examples there where you figure out what you want to do and you can pretty much do it on the Windows S mode. Not all, but it makes you very happy. It makes me very happy anyway. I'm going to have a quick look at the video again of me unwrapping my machine, because I just want to go over to some feature specific things. If you get the machine, you turn it over, and the first thing you notice actually is, sure, you've got these big rubbery sort of feet under here, but there's actually no fan, and it's the first laptop I've ever had where there's not, lumps of like fan or holes, with dust and things going in the bottom. And you've got these big rubber feet, and these slits in the bottom are actually the speakers. And the reason I say that is because if you get down to it and look at these speakers, yeah, they're not super loud and you have to turn it up a bit, but absolutely no problems at all. It will handle YouTube and Netflix really, really, really well. The big win for me on this is that if you look about the touchpad, and I saw this on some other people's videos, and they kept moaning on about, oh, the touchpad or the trackpad's not very good and you can't left mouse button click. And for me, to be frank, without naming any names, what a load of rubbish. And the reason I say that is because if you teach yourself as the user, as a human being, and you look in the touchpad settings and the tap settings, which are tap with a single finger, 2 fingers, tap and drag, scroll and zoom. You can even do multitasking, which is just incredible, with 3 fingers, even 4 fingers. What I'm getting to is I never ever left or right click. 2 finger, tap, and you can get into the right click menu. What I'm trying to get to is it's brilliant for me. What I would say as a user is get out there and learn how to do a touchpad really well. And this is seamlessly the same for my bigger laptop or this smaller one that I've just purchased. Okay, another tip here. You'll notice that on these IdeaPads that they have a very small 32GB internal memory. So what I did immediately is went out and purchased at the same time as the laptop a 32GB SanDisk Ultra, which slips in here where you've got the little black thing, probably not new to anybody else. My point is that I've now got an internal 32 gigs, I've got an SD card with 32 gigs, and also I've got this flash drive, which is just the brilliant thing, which looks like this. So what I'm trying to get to is a lifestyle about solving problems as we move around this world. And what I'm getting to is I've got some decathlon cord here which goes around my neck if needed, and this lovely little thing has a Android style micro USB that comes out one end, and you push the thing through and you've got regular USB on the other side. If you're new to these things, they are incredibly useful. So for an example, if I went out, say, and took a ton of photos or video, and I also took my IdeaPad with me, I could use this little stick without internet, shove my photos and videos on an 11-inch screen immediately in the field, which I think is a really good way of doing it. Another housekeeping thing here is I made my carry case, which you've clearly seen twice now in this video, and it's my little parcel. It really does feel like it is one of those leather-bound type pen and paper type books, the Moleskine type things. I don't use Moleskine, I use other things, but the point is that you go down to Decathlon, and okay, this is UK, but they're a worldwide store. For super no money at all, you get this microfiber fleece thing, and here's a mock-up with the IdeaPad sits on it, because if I go down to a public library or university library where I work, the moment you unwrap it, the case becomes a tablecloth, and it's dark as well. I don't like working on white tables because they shine a lot when you look at them, so that's how I work. Similarly, on the right hand side here at the top, there is something called an Outshot boxing wrap. I've actually got one of those for like zero money. Look at this, £3. You get 2 of the things, cut it in half, and that becomes my little tie-up case to make sure it doesn't drop anywhere. Right, what else am I going to share on this? Now, my conclusions are that I am very happy with the purchase I've made and the decision makings to go through. Okay, I got it at a really good UK price post-Christmas of $139, but I'm very happy with it. Number 2 is it is super lightweight, about 1 kilogram, but honestly, you hold it in your hand and it is 2.5 times less weight than my bigger laptop. And by the way, my bigger laptop just doesn't move now from my desk. Never take it anywhere. Number 3, the Lenovo thing I got, which I'm talking about, has an insanely long battery. According to the specs, it's about 8 hours, but quite honestly, 30 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 10 minutes, even an hour's movie, I can get battery that I think I charge it up once every few days, if that. Now, I put down there it's fast because it's an Intel Celeron chip, but if you start looking at these SSD drives and the way the thing is put together, I really do think that just because you've got an Intel Celeron, it makes this thing really quick, because quite honestly, it hasn't got anything to do. It's got, I don't know, I'm not a technical person, all I know is it's super fast. Number 4, it really was like starting a new life. That's why I put these graphics around the outside, because this Lenovo IdeaPad to me is actually not your phone, and it's also not your desktop, it's in the middle, which leads down to the next thing, which is it made me think about how I can do things away from old habits. If my head back here, you know, the old head on my shoulders, does exactly the same things. When you start to use Microsoft Edge and also a couple of other things on that pad, you think, well, actually, I'm on holiday here. I'm not on my desktop. I'm not on my mobile. I'm somewhere else. Very difficult to understand, really. But my point is, have a go. I hope this helps. What else? The user here is me, or the skeleton. This was a video about working with possible mobiles, Bluetooth keyboards, and thinking about how we can perhaps evolve ourselves into working really, really smart. This was recorded on 8th of March 2019 from me, Mike Downs. I will shove a load of links and references in the box, so see you later. Goodbye.